Greetings, Quiche Kishin Prime here, and in lieu of a One Piece chapter live reaction and review this week, because it's on break, can't really help with that, right? I have another one of my Straw Hat power-up videos. This time we're doing Usopp again, and Volume 2, I guess. Yeah, let's go with that. I came up with a few more ideas over the last however long since the last video, a month or so ago. So yeah, even one of them I forgot to include in the first video. So you know, I'm the forgetful one, right? So okay, we start off with the one I forgot, drill root. All of these will be pop greens, so you know, Usopp is perfect for it. And I mean, it's perfect for imagination. If you come up with any ideas, you could almost make a pop green for it. So anyway, the drill root is basically just a plant that has like a drill shaped root. I'll do a little mock-up of it. That like, okay, say they're in Wano right now, and a few of these will have Wano situations thrown in. Okay, they're in Kaido's stronghold, and he's got like walls surrounding his fortress and everything, and like they're made of like either really sturdy stone or kind of metal or something, and like they're trying to infiltrate it enough to like maybe take out some of the guards before they really get in there. Well, Usopp uses the drill root. It flies through the air, drills through the wall, because okay, you know how like plants, if you like, okay, parking lot, if you don't maintain the parking lot, nature eventually takes it back over. Well, this is where my idea came from, is nature is all powerful and will destroy anything that we make if we let it. So going through rock or something, a plant will eventually be able to do it. So if it's drilling, it's taking that concept of their roots or them just coming right through it. So you have a piercing attack that can go through walls. And then if you combine this with like armament hockey, as I discussed in his last video, it could maybe pierce metal as well. So, you know, he drills a hole, and this thing's about, oh, yay big. You know, big enough to get a face hole maybe. But you do that, then he shoots in like, say, an explosive or something, knocks out the guards. So there's the first idea. Sorry, I forgot it in the last one. Next is the leaf glider. This one is kind of weird because I was like, am I going too overpowered? I did the Frankie video with a glider, and I was like, this one, it's a pop green. Do we really know how long pop greens last after they've grown? I assume with the accelerated growth, they would all, and with their extra abilities, that they wouldn't have a long lifespan. So within 24 hours, it's probably gone. Well, let's say this one only lasts 3 hours. And there was two ways I thought I could do this. One is where it just makes a glider already, or one where he makes the components and then he has to cobble it together, making it, you know, more shoddy, because given the situation, it may not be top notch, and it has to be made enough to where it can be done in a quick situation and still be effective. So I was like, we'll maybe go with either one, and it really didn't matter. But still giving it, like, say, a 3-hour lifespan. Then I thought, oh god, what if Usopp, like, made one of these things and Luffy got a hold of it, and he didn't know that it only lasted so long, and Usopp's, like, watching him fly around, and it's like, okay, time's about up. It's like, he'll be fine. He knows I have a time limit on those things. He'll land any minute. Why is he flying over the ocean? Oh god. And he fell in the ocean. Luffy, you idiot. You know, something like that. You could see Luffy doing that. So yeah, I just kind of think it would just fall apart after about 3 hours. Next we have something that would be very useful potentially in Wano with all the toxins probably in the air along with the water. It's only been reflected in the water. So I'm not sure, but air pollution is a thing. These are factories that are pumping out like toxins and smoke and stuff. So yeah, how about a gas mask? Made out of plants, obviously. And this is another one where maybe it needs to be cobbled together real quick, so it may not last that long. So basically, I have like a leaf that covers over the mouth, and then it has like two. I kind of took the idea of Bulbasaur's bulb and has like two of them, and they basically just suck in the toxic air or the polluted air, and then it converts it into oxygen like plants do. And like I said, this would be real useful in Wano right now. So this idea I had like weeks ago before we even really knew about that whole issue in Wano. So timely is so great right now, or timing. So yeah, just a simple idea, and he can like make those for all the crew members, because they're all together now. Yes. Next, we have the pollen bomb, or pollen cloud. I didn't really know what I wanted to call it, but basically, this is just simple premise of anybody that like lives in the southern United States probably knows this. Between spring and summer is hell for allergies. You got ragweed and all this other crap, and it just blooms out everywhere. It can survive almost anywhere, and it kills you if you got allergies. I luckily haven't had it as bad the last few years. But okay, so excuse me. Situation, Usopp's like fighting a bunch of people. Cannon fodder kind of level, nothing major. You got the he sends out like these spores, and then the pollen just, or not spores, but the pollen itself, and then it just messes with their sinuses. It's getting watery eyes all over the place so they can't see. They're sneezing, they're coughing, and then I was like, okay, he could just, if it's thick enough, he could use it as like a smoke screen, or just as a distraction for an attack. So it's like, well, in between sneezes, he's actually getting closer, but they can't defend, and then he just pops them with like the wood hammer or the tree hammer that I came up with in the last video, something like that. Then you have, let's change the subject and go straight into mushrooms, because I came up with like 3 ideas for this one alone. Mushrooms are fun, especially if they're the magic kind, but I wouldn't know that, but I hear stories. But anyway, multi-size mushrooms. Basically, they come in like 3 basic size varieties. Large, which would be like, say, maybe the size of a 4-person table. Then you have like the size of a stool or so for the medium size, or umbrella size, as you'll get to know in a minute, maybe. And then like just smaller stool size, yeah. So you have basically those 3 sizes. Well, the stool size can be used for, well, a stool, obviously. Toadstool. Jokes. But, okay, so they like, they're in the woods. Sanji's like, okay guys, it's time for lunch, but I need a table. Usopp's like, oh, I got that covered, and it's like multi-size mushrooms, and then he makes a table and stools for everybody. And but then it like, oh, it's raining, and Nami and Robin are about to get sexist up in here, and it's like, oh, my hair, or even Chopper for that matter, because his fur, I'm sure probably he doesn't like getting it wet because he doesn't take baths. So, I don't want to get wet. And he's like, oh, well, here's a couple mushrooms for your, use them as umbrellas. And then, finally, there's one for a shield. I don't know if I wanted to make this like a separate thing or not, but it's a thing, you know, basically Captain America, but in a mushroom. And like I mentioned before, if he applies armament hockey, or anybody that he makes them for does armament hockey with it, well, you now have an even more durable shield. The final mushroom thing I have is the sucker mushroom. Okay, I took the concepts of the body mushroom from Amazon Lily and then just mixed it with some good old fun mushroom crap, you know. And there could be like a couple variants of this, one being the magic mushrooms of our world that make you hallucinate, except this maybe not so much. If it got ingested, maybe. Basically, he sends out a bunch of spores. They then attack. Once they touch something, they start growing on them, like the body mushroom, except it doesn't have to be ingested. And then they're like, all he has to do is then lie. It's like, hey, those are body mushrooms. And they're like, crap, get these things off of me. They'll kill us. You know, so that's why it's called the sucker mushroom, because it doesn't harm you at all. But then if you have a magic mushroom variant and, like, say, just contact with you at all has hallucinogenic effects, oh, imagine Oda having fun with that. It'd be kind of like with Big Mom and her, like, what was it? Dead end musical thing where we didn't have a clue what the hell we were looking at, except more. All of them would be like, what? Huh? You know? So, but yeah, I don't know. Just a variant of that, I suppose. And then the final idea I had was the camo star. Okay, you've seen the military ghillie suits. Well, Usopp could make like grasses or something grow all over his body. It's like camo star, and then it would just rain down and he's like instant ghillie suit. Sniper on the ready. Or just like the walking bushes that you see in Fortnite, or the cartoon characters where they like lift up the bush and they're sneaking around. I could see him doing that with Kaido's men or whatever. Maybe that's actually how they get close enough to him and the Shogun. I don't know, but like you just sneak around with the thing and like, oh, what was that? And then, you know, it plopped back down, and then when they're not looking again, you sneak a little closer until finally they realize that that's what's actually going on, and then you attack them. But yeah, and he could maybe sample this with like other plants that he's gotten on other islands so that he has a camouflaged pattern for every situation. You know, like, because over time, you know, grasses, they start to wither and die near fall and winter, so, you know, like brown yellows for that, and then more vibrant greens, and some reds also for fall as well, you know, so that you have the full gambit, because you're not always going to be in a forest where just almost any kind of plant would work, you know, so it'd be good to have samples for other locations as well. But and that's also kind of how I figured maybe he could get the body mushroom and modify it. Is just like with all these allies, and then just have like the news crew send them like packages in the mail, and it's like, ooh, my samples came in. And everyone be like, Usopp's nerding out again. That plant hobby, he's a real botanist now. But yeah, those are just kind of my ideas and the general thoughts on a lot of this stuff. But let me know what you think. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at Keishan Prime, and I'll see you next time. Keishlings, roll out.